Hey, welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel, whichever is the case for you. My name is Matt. I am clearly an old man, as you can now see by looking at the screen at me. Welcome, Alphas. We're ranking another XG song today. In fact, I just did, actually, as far as recording goes, I just recorded the Something Ain't Right video. So I'm just continuing on, this time with the second pre-release, If You Know, You Know, or IYKYK. I think that stands for If You Know, You Know. I'm not as familiar with this song as I am with some of the other songs. Although Something Ain't Right, it was also kind of a surprise for me. But let's look at our current rankings right now as they stand. Winter Without You, Left Right, New Dance, Something Ain't Right, Undefeated, Woke Up, Mascara, Girl Gang, Puppet Show, Shooting Star, Hasunu, XG, and Tippy Toes, and Thank God I'm Fly. 13 songs so far. Again, number 14 is If You Know, You Know. Let's get into it. All right, here we go. Well, because I just recorded Something Ain't Right, this seems to be in the same key as C sharp minor. But the chords are the 4 to the 5 to the 1. Kind of like the feel of this one better than Something Ain't Right. Hi, Hinata. Hi, Maya. They put a little bend on that with the vocal effects, which can be duplicated with the voice, but you can duplicate that with your voice if you had to do it live, but it's much more effective if you actually put those bends in there, like they did on Maya's voice, using tech. It makes it stick out in the mix more. Now, when Maya does it live, she probably just puts a little extra vibrato on those notes, and it sounds great and sounds very close. But they always are more pronounced when you actually just put the bends on them. I'm not sure what that effect is. I don't want to call it auto-tune. I don't think that's what it is. But it's some kind of vocal processing thing that a lot of producers are doing on voices these days. F sharp minor? Yeah. To A flat or A flat minor? I think it's an A flat minor. Yeah, it's an A flat minor or A flat minor 7. To D flat or C sharp minor. And then it sounded like they were doing either some kind of E chord right at the end, going back to the F sharp minor. It could have been over the G sharp bass, where the G sharp was on the bottom. But that does distinguish itself from the G sharp minor chord. Very cool. Pretty melodies. Something Ain't Right had pretty melodies as well. I'm a freak on a beat like if you're asking me where I wanna be, somewhere they always do a really good job of changing the instrumentation to mark form for most of their songs. Oh, what was that? They just, like they're all doing a yoga class and you're hearing it through little speakers, I guess. Chord progression hasn't really changed. Alright, Jared. But if you knew, maybe you would know. Every planet I'm on, I'ma do what I want. I don't talk when I want. Stay in the style. Jared? Really? Okay. Alright, Chacona. Now there's vocal chops there. Again, we've discussed this. It may be Simon or Chancellor. If you're asking me what's beyond All right, Hinata. That was the line that I wanted to hear. That it sounded like it was in tiny speakers and they were all doing a yoga class. Now that I've heard it, it's really pretty. Again, the chord progression hasn't really changed. I love those upbeat things. And the instrumental's great. They do keep adding things and taking things away for the production to definitely mark the form. You know you're in a pre-chorus when everything kind of drops out and everything gets kind of floaty. There wasn't really a bridge in this one. XG's a strange animal when it comes to forms and everything. There's things like Gala where they like to really try to blur the form. And then there's songs like this where they very strictly mark the form of the song. So you know exactly what type of part of the song you're getting into. I like that variety. That keeps things interesting. A tune like Gala, I would definitely have to have sheet music in front of me while I was playing it, simply so that I would know, what was coming. If I had to make changes in synths and everything, because that form is much less distinctive. To even my ears. But this is cool. Let's rake it. Okay, and maybe this isn't a good idea to record tunes back to back, but because I did do Something Ain't Right just a few minutes ago before this one, I can definitely say that I like Something Ain't Right better. Mainly because that G-sharp chord kind of morphed every once in a while. Here it was pretty well defined as a minor chord, thanks to the backing, the vocal harmonies, and the outline of the chord itself. But sometimes it seemed like it shifted back and forth and Something Ain't Right, and that was more interesting to me. So we're going to start there. Chords don't really change, and if chords don't change, Undefeated keeps me more interested. Woke Up. Man, that's a badass song. I'm not going to go above that. Here I am back at Mascara again. Poor Mascara keeps getting pushed down. Don't mess with my Mascara, and it seems like that I am messing with their Mascara because I keep putting songs in front of it. But that's where it's at, number 7 for me. Just so you can see. Winter Without You, Left Right, New Dance, Something Ain't Right, Undefeated, Woke Up, If You Know You Know, Mascara, Girl Gang, Puppet Show, Shooting Star, Hisuno, X-Gene, Tippy Toes, and TGIF. And folks, I do want to totally reiterate, I keep saying this time after time, just because TGIF is at the bottom of the list does not mean it's a bad song. They're all badass songs. They're all fantastic songs, but I got to find some way to grade them one way in between the other, and it just so happened that because of the way that I am a musical snob, TGIF ended up at the bottom of the list so far. Will it stay there? We're going to find out, because we're going to get into the second mini next time around with Howl and possibly Howling. Maybe they go together. It's the first and second tracks of the second mini, Awe. So that's what we'll do next time. Take care.